say like and subscribe? Like, yay, good job. I am just so happy to be nominated for Children's Entertainer of the Year. What's that? Oh, it's Anti-Semite of the Year. If you guys don't understand, I am dressed as Miss Rachel, who is a children's entertainer. I know all about her. I have a 4-year-old son. He was big about Miss Rachel. And now my daughter is turning 2 next week, and she is having a Miss Rachel themed birthday party, along with Mika, Blippi, and Elmo. She couldn't pick, so we're doing them all. I got this outfit for her birthday, but I thought I'd wear it for this special occasion to congratulate Mrs. Rachel on her nomination, no I am not kidding, for Anti-Semite of the Year. Among these others, she is a top contender. Will she win? I don't know. We'll see. Not everybody wins every time. That's okay. Just try again. For those of you out there who do not have young children or are not overly informed on who Miss Rachel is and what her content is like, here's a little clip just so you can see, just for context. You gotta know the level of evil we're dealing with here.
Hi! Hello! Can you say mama? Mama! Mama! Let's sing it! Mama!
This is stupid. This is so silly. I wrote a song for the people who nominated her, and here's how it goes. Where is your brain? Where could it be? Where is your brain? Look for it with me. Oh my gosh, it's not anywhere. So then why? Why, you ask? Why would Miss Rachel, of all people, be on this list? Well, turns out she talks about kids. She loves kids. She makes children's content on YouTube. Children are her main focus in life, and she sees a tragedy occurring where they're literally being killed. So although her content on YouTube is focused towards kids and kids alone, it doesn't have any like political messages in it. Her Instagram is very dedicated to speaking out on causes that she feels passionate about. She formed a special bond with a child in Gaza who is a double amputee, and she's made posts like this where she says, if you don't want to be in a cold, wet tent with your child because your home was bombed, then you don't agree with what's happening in Gaza. No human is more human than another. No human is less human than another. What a beautiful sentiment. She genuinely views people as equals. Like, that's what people should strive to be. This woman is literally a saint, and people are trying to label her as a bigot. Praying for the people of Gaza and the hostages. Every life is precious. Every life is a universe. Every person is someone's world. Every person is someone's baby. Most people on that list don't deserve to be on that list. Specifically Miss Rachel. I think Tucker Carlson has a good chance of winning, but I think she might actually have a good chance of winning Anti-Semite of the Year just because there is so much publicity around this. They're looking to make a splash. And who is they? Well, it is Stop Anti-Semitism, an organization. They just go after and they threaten people that even criticize Israel. I've been called anti-Semitic because I have vocalized my issues with Israel in the past. I've actually gotten quite a bit of backlash for sharing posts from Miss Rachel on Instagram. And people attack me. They're like, oh my gosh, your husband is Jewish, which means your kids are half Jewish. And I'm like, fantastic. I love that. I love the culture. I think it's all kind of a beautiful thing when you really get into it and celebrate it. I've spent a lot of time with David's family. It's so deeply meaningful and personal, and they're so proud of their heritage, as they should be. That has nothing to do with criticizing the foreign policy war crimes of another country. But I just want to make a point right here at the beginning of this video to say, if you criticize Israel, if you say something crazy like Miss Rachel says, where she doesn't want, children to die in Gaza, for people to literally be starved to death, if you say that killing kids is a bad thing, just gonna put this out there, that does not make you an anti-Semitic bigot. I actually think that makes you a pretty decent human being. But that's just me. A decent enough chunk of people disagree with me, which I can't. Where could it be? People who have won Anti-Semite of the Year in the past, Candace Owens, all right, fine. Kanye West, he definitely deserves it. Now, I've made several videos on how anti-Semitic Kanye West is because, newsflash, anti-Semitism is a very horrible and a very real thing. Actually, I think it's such a problem and a growing problem that organizations like Stop Anti-Semitism actually do quite the opposite. They fuel anti-Semitism because they take a very real, a very important, an extremely serious cause, and they make a joke of it. If you're gonna prop someone like Miss Rachel up as the biggest anti-Semite there is this year, or even the top 10, like, What are you like? Do you think you're actually helping your cause, or do you think you're turning more and more people against you? Like, it honestly, as someone who does have a Jewish family, it scares the crap out of me. I hear about people getting killed in synagogues all the time. And the few times I have gone for different ceremonies or bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, I do have this little fear in the back of my head that someone who's crazy and anti-Semitic is going to come in and put me and my family in danger. It's a very real thing. It happens all the time. Anytime you walk into a synagogue, at least in my experience, there are police officers that have to work there because the risk is so high. Anti-Semitism is terrifying. It's a very scary thing. It's a horribly fucked up thing. That's why I've talked about it so vocally in the past, which is why things like this piss me off so much, because they are hurting the cause. It's something I want people to take seriously and not make a joke of. Like, there are actually anti-Semitic people out there, right? You could be focusing on bringing awareness to real people doing real things. Nick Fuentes, for example, why is he not on the list? Well, apparently their excuse was that he was on the list in a previous year and therefore he couldn't be on the list again. Why? I don't know. He didn't win. They actually responded to the criticism, by the way, about Nick Fuentes. And like, who is in charge of their social media? Like, had you taken 2 minutes and did a Google search, you would find we've been tracking Fuentes since 2019 and he's been featured a few years back as a finalist. What, therefore he's ineligible? This guy's a piece of shit. He should be at the top of the list. Now, she talks a lot about being a Christian. You guys know I'm not religious, but she's not a Christian causing harm. She is a Christian who is true to the definition of what people believe Jesus was, right? She is selfless, she is caring, she is giving, she defends people who need defense, she gives to the poor. Yes, she talks about other places, she's made posts about Sudan, and quite a bit against Hamas as well. I condemn Hamas, I condemn October 7th. I mean, obviously, right? I condemn taking precious Israeli children and civilians hostage. I condemn killing precious Israeli children and civilians. I condemn war crimes, human rights violations, children's rights violations. That doesn't seem anti-Semitic to me. People are just mad that she's giving Gaza as much attention as she is. I condemn the Israeli government. Uh-oh, now here we go. You can't say that, can you? I condemn killing precious Palestinian children and civilians. I condemn using starvation as a weapon against children and civilians. I condemn bombing hospitals and schools. I condemn war crimes, human rights violations, children's rights violations. If you have a problem with her saying she condemns human rights violations and children's rights violations, what are you doing? Her caption, some of us just want children to live. The situation in Gaza was so dire that although it didn't get legally recognized as a genocide, a lot of people still did consider it one. It's a horrific thing, and so many people for so long were scared to say anything because they would be labeled, just as ms.rachel has, as being an anti-Semite because they criticized Israel, a government in another country doing things that are point blank unethical. Yes, Hamas is bad. She's even said that over and over. She said that in so many posts. Everybody agrees. And I've yet to see anybody argue with someone when they say Hamas is bad. I feel like that's just universally accepted. But if someone says the actions that Israel has taken against the people in Palestine is bad, now we have a problem. It's okay to point out flaws on one side, but if you dare criticize the other side, well, now you're a bigot. That's a very, very dangerous mentality. What are we doing when we make this the enemy?
I just put myself in the parents' shoes, and every child in Gaza is somebody's world. There's a great quote from a Jewish text that every life is a universe. They are everything to us.
In my own post, I talked about my empathy for the parents because, I have 2 kids and I can't imagine, I remember I was in tears when I was writing this because I can't imagine what it would be like to have my children in that situation where I literally couldn't feed them. And I was scared of getting bombed. I was scared of, not being able to get medical care if we needed it. I didn't know if they would be with me the next day. The images were horrifying. But it was so controversial of me to say that, right? Just like it was so controversial for ms.rachel to say that she doesn't want kids to be killed. Such to the point that she landed herself as a top contender for Anti-Semite of the Year. This whole thing, it does as much of a joke as it is, and you can kind of sit back and almost laugh at how ridiculous this is, it makes me feel a little sick to my stomach at the same time. Because like I said, anti-Semitism is such a real and growing problem. And then you see stuff like this and you're like, It's turned it into a literal joke. It's turned it into a joke where a lot of people were commenting, demonstrating how much of a joke this whole thing is, because it is. Because the Stop Anti-Semitism organization has made it a joke to the point where people are commenting saying, darn it, maybe I'll make the list next year. I should be on that list. Let's go through. One of my goals in life is to make the list. Let's go, Miss Rachel. You can do it. I'm sad that I'm not on this list of decent people. I am so pissed that I didn't make the list. Like, I'm starting to think that like actual anti-Semites run this account to just try to make it look stupid on purpose. Fortunately, a lot of people don't agree with this. Like, she's even been Woman of the Year by Glamour magazine. People do understand that she's a good person. So I think, you know, although this probably does pose quite a big risk to her security, to her and her family, which is scary. I think an even bigger risk in all this is not to her, it's to the cause of actually stopping anti-Semitism. And just to really hammer home how much of a joke this is, I was scrolling independently. I was gonna make this video, and I was scrolling on TikTok, and I saw this comedian, Andy Haynes, and I have to share this. I thought it was really relevant to the video I was already making and pretty funny.
If you guys don't know who Ms. Rachel is, she's a children's phonetic presenter on YouTube, and she got into some trouble in July because she said, "I don't think we should kill children." That's what she said. And the US media was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It's exactly proving my point as to what I said before. Everyone can agree Hamas is bad. You can post that literally anywhere and no one's gonna defend Hamas, except for probably people who are in Hamas. But you get what I mean. You criticize the other side and then the media does freak out. Let's keep watching.
The journalist interviewing her says this to her. They say, "Are you in Hamas?" They asked Miss Rachel, who wears overalls and a pink shirt with matching headband every day of her life. They said, "Are you in Hamas?" And I really like to think about that. I like to think about Miss Rachel getting into Hamas.
He's not making a joke. That's a real thing that happened at the point where this organization, Stop Anti-Semitism, asked the DOJ to investigate Miss Rachel over posts on Gaza children. They wanted to know if she acted as a foreign agent to spread propaganda. It says a prominent pro-Israel group that doxes people it deems anti-Semitic, lovely, is calling on Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, to investigate whether beloved children's entertainer Miss Rachel is operating as a foreign agent after sharing sympathetic content about children suffering in Gaza. You care about children dying in Gaza, therefore you must be a terrorist. Claiming her social media posts about Palestinian children in anguish could constitute undisclosed work for foreign entities.
She's probably worth $500 million. Lives in New York, has only worked in speech therapy for children, and then now she's a YouTube presenter, brand deals across the globe. How did they DM her? Is that what they did? They DM'd her? She went to hidden messages, she opened that up, she says, "Oh shit, it's Hamas." You know what, I have always been interested in Sharia law. I have.
So I include this because it's comedy at this point. Even the New York Times asked her if she was getting paid by Hamas. It's a really bad comedy sketch. It's a scary comedy. It's one that is going to have consequences and is having consequences. So she hasn't really said anything specifically about her nomination, but she did post this a while back. Normal and just being a good person, wanting kids to not be killed, wanting kids to not lose limbs, wanting kids to have food, wanting kids to have homes, wanting kids to go to school. Not normal and absurd, accusing people of being anti-Semitic or paid by Hamas because they want these basic human rights for kids and people. I'm gonna read her post because I think this is an important thing to end on. This has to stop. Anti-Semitism is rising and it's real and we need to address and prevent it. Saying people are anti-Semitic because they care about Palestinians is wrong and absurd. It has kept people silent and has caused more death of kids and innocent people. It's caused a genocide to continue. Accusing people of being paid by Hamas for caring about Palestinians is serious and makes no sense. I have the most beautiful community around me of Jewish people who care so deeply about Palestinians and are working every day to help. And she continued to post about that support in the comment as well. Now, let me just say it one more time in case you missed it. If you criticize Israel's actions in Gaza, if you criticize Netanyahu, that does not make you anti-Jewish people, okay? It does not make you anti-Semitic. When you say things like that, it makes the rest of what you say complete rubbish. No one will take you seriously, and people will take the cause itself less seriously too, which is very dangerous. Please stop it. You're losing any credibility you might have had, any influence you could have had for good, when you take this mentality of, shut up, don't criticize anything, otherwise we're gonna call you anti-Semitic. Labeling Ms. Rachel an anti-Semite Antisemite makes you a joke. And even worse, it makes a joke of what anti-Semitism actually is and how seriously it should be taken. I have worked up quite the thirst. Am I being obvious enough? Do you guys see the toys behind me? I got a little Miss Rachel up there. I got a Miss Rachel back there. I got my Hanukkah gnome right there. We are celebrating Hanukkah this year, and surprise, Hanukkah is a holiday that actually celebrates Jewish people who, people tried to kill them, they survived, and now we eat and celebrate. I always hear people say, oh, they tried to kill us, we survived, let's eat. That's kind of the saying and the ode that a lot of Jewish holidays are about them surviving, people trying to constantly attack and kill them. And on Hanukkah, we light the menorah, we talk about the meaning behind it, about how people have had to persevere and survive. And the funny thing is that this year, Hanukkah starts the day after Violet's birthday party. So our house will be covered in Jewish Stars of David and menorahs and all the Jewish decorations we can possibly find, and all the Miss Rachel decorations we can possibly find for Violet's second birthday party. And they're just gonna coexist so very happily next to each other, because why not? There should not be a clash of interests there, and there isn't. So I'm exhausted. I want to thank you guys so much. If you're still here watching, please do like and subscribe if you have not already. And big shout out to everybody supporting me over on Patreon. I'm doing a big Patreon launch where I'm doing a lot of different live streams, and I just revamped the whole thing with different tiers. So I hope you join me over there. Your support really does mean a lot. I'm controversial, maybe not as controversial as a children's entertainer, but hey, it does make my existence on this platform very difficult to continue. So support on Patreon really does make all the difference. I really do appreciate you guys. So I'll see ya over there. And yeah, I took some interesting selfies of me wearing this before I posted this video, so you can go ahead and check out my Instagram to see the kind of magic that I'm sure I created. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Okay, can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye, friends. I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.